Township High School. Today we will be performing scenes 1 through 3 of Little Women, written by Marisha Chamberlain. Thank you.
Well, if you can't dance, Joe, at least you could. know it, bad goes to worse, and some young man comes calling.
Yes, and?
Doesn't that hurt?
Maybe a little.
Amy, dear, I don't really think that will really alter the shape of your nose.
But I want it to be extinguished, not stumpy.
Extinguished?
The female face should be in every feature, delicate and extinguished.
Amy, you mean distinguished.
Distinguished. And so a young man comes calling in.
Comes calling to try and marry you. The very worst thing.
I don't think it's the very worst thing.
Because then you have to mind your sewing and your cooking and be sweet and pretty and every feature extinguished. And before you know it, your adventures are over and your liberty's finished and you might as well be dead.
I know. Sorry, Joe.
Mommy married Papa.
That's different. They're our mother and father.
Amy, you know she can't really discuss this. Don't worry, Joe. If I have to look ragged at a party, I'd really rather stay home.
Don't peek, Beth. I'll show you in a moment.
I wish I could stay home and I have nothing nice to wear. But I must go out anyway. Every day to school.
School is not a party. And yes, you must.
And we're meant to go out and see the world, Amy. I only meant that it's nice to stay home for Christmas. The world is full of places and fascinating people. What's the good in staying home every day?
Nobody sits at home but me.
I didn't mean you, Beth.
Do you think you'd like to try school again, dear?
I might. No, I simply can't bear so many faces.
It's not that you're lazy, Beth. It's just that you're bashful. And you don't just sit home every day. You work terribly hard. Just as hard as Meg or I do. And you play the piano, which is truly beyond me. And you play it so wonderfully well. It really takes you to other places, doesn't it? You and I go to all the best places, Beth. To the Hall of Legends, the old days of yore, and to Beowulf in the mead hall.
The bloodthirsty Grendel. Ew!
Yes, or to fairylands. I'm writing a new story for you, Beth, and when this one's finished, we'll have an entire book. And the story begins
Long ago, far away, in a distant land.
That's right. You know, one of these days I intend to take you on an actual adventure. Not the kind of books or music, but a real pack-up-and-go journey, far, far away.
Do you really mean it, Joe?
Of course I do. I'll take all of you. Now, how's this? A Christmas present?
Who's it for?
There weren't to be any presents.
It's for me, isn't it?
Amy,
Well, I am the youngest.
Where'd you get it, Joe?
I bought it.
With what money?
The only money I had.
Your Christmas dollar? Your Christmas dollar? You were supposed to spend that on yourself.
I did. I spent it to please myself.
Then it's not for me.
I don't believe it's for any of us.
No one in this room, because she'd give it to the person privately and not make the rest jealous.
It's not for Aunt March.
Horrors, no.
I guessed who it's for.
So have I.
It's not for that new boy, is it? Old Mr. Lawrence's grandson? I know you like to watch him ride his horse.
I would like to meet him, but I would hardly give a present to a boy who I have not met.
You're guessing too far afield.
It's for Mother.
Yes, it's for Marmee. I thought that would make me happiest. We all know Christmas is about more than plum pudding, and we ought to show her that. So, let's get cracking. We have the play to rehearse and carols to sing. One present for Marmee.
2. I bought her a pair of gloves.
You did? Why, there's a good fellow.
And I got her handkerchiefs.
Bravo, Beth.
And I? Well, I kept my dollar.
It's all right, Amy. You can keep it. It's yours to keep.
It's just that I haven't decided how to spend it yet. I thought perhaps a box of Faber's drawing pencils. You may think me selfish, but if I'm ever to be an artist, I must have pencils. scampi corn pudding. It smells too delicious.
It's what we have, thanks be to God.
Hannah, could you watch us rehearse? The fainting scene's not right. When Amy faints, it's supposed to be shocking. A great woman has just fainted, and all of that. So a bell sounds, the curtains fly open. In Act 2, there's a gloomy castle here, and a forbidding tower there, and the beautiful Zara standing atop her tower. Scene 2. Zara! Beautiful Zara! Amy!
Yes?
Amy, you're supposed to stand over here. Now remember, by this time, you've already descended your tower.
I'd love to help, girls, but I have to watch the pudding. It's all we have, so I want it to be perfect.
How soon may we eat it, Hannah?
Heavens, not until evening. Now, you stay out of the kitchen.
Don't worry, Hannah, she's needed here. Now put your mind to fainting, Amy. Zara! Beautiful Zara! I give you one final chance, and then you die.
I love you, Rodrigo.
I'm not Rodrigo, I'm Hugo.
Are you the hero or the villain?
Well, what do you think? I'm pointing a pistol at you. Amy, we're performing this tonight. Are you even at all acquainted with the story?
Don't worry, I know my lines.
Well, speak them then.
All right, let me get set. Here I go. I'm fainting!
Amy, you cannot just sit on the ground. You have to just drop or it's not fainting at all. Look here. Do it like this. Clasp your hands together like so. And this is your line, Amy. Rodrigo! Rodrigo, save me! Rodrigo! Rodrigo!
She sounds as though someone were sticking her with pins.
Are you even trying?
Yes, I'm trying. And you're not so brilliant. You don't look like Hugo the villain.
Well, wait till I put my big red boots on. And I think the glint of my sword will impress you.
And you sound like you have a frog in your neck. And I don't want to rehearse anymore.
A frog in her throat, Amy.
I don't want to rehearse anymore. We've rehearsed this play every day for a month, and it's become tiresome.
Is that so?
Yes, that's so. I'm nearly bored to tears with this stupid old play, even if you did write it.
Amy, a play can't be any good unless it's properly rehearsed.
It's too late. When the audience laughs at you, Amy, don't complain to me.
Marmy and Hannah won't laugh at me. They'll say I'm pretty.
They will too. And you'll be satisfied. I can see right through you, Amy. You're transparent as glass.
You do not know my thoughts.
Oh, don't I? Marmy and Hannah will say I'm pretty. And that's all you want out of life, Christopher Columbus.
It is not, and don't swear.
I will swear if I like. And what's more?
Don't, Joe, it's so boyish.
I know. That's why I do it. You know where I belong? With Father at the war. I would disguise myself in a uniform and go to battle like a real soldier.
Well, go if you must. You have the boots.
Don't tempt her, Amy.
And wouldn't I fight fiercely too? Fight and die if I had to.
Don't say that, Joe.
It's just talk, Beth. But I won't be an old poke forever.
An old poke.
A fellow with nothing to do but knit.
You aren't a fellow.
I am if I say so.
I detest rude, unladylike girls.
And I hate nimity-pimity chicks.
Now, Joe and Amy.
Where are you going?
I have an errand.
You can't go now. The pudding's almost ready, and we can't have you gone when the celebration is starting.
Really, girls, you're both to blame. As much as I hate to let entirely too prissy for your own good, you'll grow up to be a goose if you don't take care. Your manners are nice when you don't try to be elegant.
Are they?
Yes, they are.
And how is Joe to blame?
Do you have an errand?
Yes.
Well, then you'd best be on your way.
Very well. I'm leaving.
And come back directly. This lecture won't take long. I already know what Meg is going to say.
Now then, Joe.
Go ahead. I'm ready for you this time.
You don't have to tell her. She knows.
But I must. It's time you left off
wait.
Where's Amy?
She's off on some mysterious errand.
Here I am. Merry Christmas, Marmee!
Merry Christmas. Now? What's all this? Open that one first. You'll need them. Slippers? New slippers? First-rate Army edition. Joe, dear, thank you. And from Meg? Gloves. Lovely. Children, how did you manage this? Did you by any chance? You know what we did. You spent your Christmas dollar on me. And from Beth? Handkerchiefs?
I hem them myself. The stitching's crooked.
But made with your own two hands. And from Amy? You see?
It's a large bottle of cologne, not the small one. Though I was terribly tempted by the box of Faber's drawing pencils for my own self. But instead, here. I spent all my money on this one present, and see, it's the prettiest one of all.
Oh, really?
Now, Amy.
And I'm truly trying not to be selfish anymore.
Pudding! Pudding! Coming, Hannah. Thank you, Amy. You've all been so very generous, girls. Shall we go to supper?
Here we are.
Hurrah for Hannah!
Hurrah for pudding!
And we have applesauce, hot tea, and cream.
Before we eat, girls, there's something weighing on my mind that I must say. You know the Hummel family? Mrs. Hummel and her 5 children just around the corner? Well, I stopped in to see them on my way home, only to find all 6 of them and a newborn baby huddled together in one bed to keep from freezing. For they have no fire. There didn't seem to be any food there either. Well, I'm glad you told us before we began eating.
Yes, we'll give them our supper.
Our whole supper?
But, Mother March, on Christmas Eve?
I know, Hannah, but they have nothing. May I go and help carry it to them?
Yes, we will go.
I'll carry the pudding.
And firewood. We can take the firewood that I chopped this afternoon. I'll push the wheelbarrow. Can you manage it, Beth? I'll help you. Capital, Marmee. Because you see, if you and the little girls go to take supper to the Hummels, then that leaves time for me and Meg to set up for the play. The play? What play? We're putting on a Christmas play for you, Marmee. What might this play be about?
And after the play, we can have some biscuits and hot tea.
Remember, don't tell her a word of it. Might this play have a hero? Might this play have a villain in red boots? It's a new play, Marmee.
Don't tell her the plot, Beth. Promise, Amy?
I won't reveal a word.
Meg, look! It's the Lawrence boy.
Come here and help me, Joe.
Look, we have box seats.
And Beth is playing the overture.
Yes, I am. Oops. There is a woman named Beautiful Zara. I love her so much I would kill or die. But she loves a fellow named Rodrigo. The witch's curse on Rodrigo, I cry. Curse Rodrigo! Curse Rodrigo!
Who is invoking the witch's curse?
It is I, Hugo the villain.
Oh, you. What is it this time?
I would like to buy a poison.
What? Poison again? You are always asking for poison.
Give me a poison to kill Rodrigo. And a potion A love potion to make Zara fall in love with me. Don't make me ask you twice.
You are unusually polite, Hugo. You must be serious this time.
Yes, I am. I have found true love. Do you dare thwart me?
Not directly. Not for the moment. Ho! Minion!
Hither I come from my fairy home, away in the silver moon. Take this magic spell and use it well, or its powers will vanish soon.
A potion and a poison. I hate wicked Hugo. I spit in his eye. Hugo shall take his own poison and die.
They call me Rodrigo. And may I present the beautiful Zara. Rodrigo! Don't sing, Amy. You know you can't sing.
Rodrigo, you know I can't sing.
Yes? And what else would you like to say to me?
Nothing comes to mind at the moment.
We'll have to leave the rest to your imagination. Intermission, ladies and gentlemen.
Isn't Amy so pretty?
And Beth is so wonderful in both parts, you hardly know she's the same person.
But I want to sing. It's a masterpiece. A masterpiece.
You can't, so just say your lines.
Isn't it though?
You get to sing.
We're starting. Listen to this. Amy's going to sing. Amy made Joe let her sing.
Carry on, Amy, all the way to the top.
This doesn't feel very steady, Joe.
You're on stage, everyone can hear you.